Hello everybody, Glitch Reaper here. I'm back for another mob battle, and this one's one that we've been anticipating happening for quite some time, and I just felt it was about time for this one. And with this, versus a Wild Wither Storm, also from Engender, and did not align with me. Otherwise, they wouldn't fight. This whole thing runs on teams, so remember that. So any mob battles have to involve them on opposite sides. Well, some kind of different sides, anyhow. Anyhow, I'm going to be setting this up now. And special note, sometimes there's some kind of pause that happens due to the intensity of things. So I may or may not have to edit some of that out. I'm not sure. It depends on how long this lasts. But first of all, let's start things up with a Wither Storm. Remember, they have no clip, so don't worry about the walls. And now, let the Chaos Guardian emerge, and the shower of experience come my way. While watching the absolute pummeling in the sky. Not sure if this is ringside seats. I might need to readjust the volume again. I keep trying to figure this out. Let's... Yeah, if there's one that's super loud... I mean, it's dramatic, it's often appropriate, but is it good for being either, is it good for doing a video? I don't know, that's the problem. See, that's kind of more like it, but I really had to dampen it down. Yeah, I know, I'm casually sweeping experience while watching them blast each other. Ooh, Chaos Guardian got a critical hit. Yeah, I do have messages on. If I get closer to them, I should be able to, Oh, wow. Chaos Guardian's really starting to fall into him. I can see his health bar get chunked away. I was just trying to casually grab some of this experience before going up. Whoa, did they both teleport, or was that just an absolute lag storm? Well, either way, I'm closing in. Closing in to see more of the action. Oh, Witherstorm Tentacle was obliterated by Chaos, a part of the Chaos Guardian. Another obliterated, also blown up, which is typical explosion, but always dramatic. Critical hits. Yeah, Engender critical hits work. It's going particularly smoothly this time. Maybe, because that could have been part of it. Oh, those flaming Wither Skulls. He's chucking them at the Chaos Guardian. I know he's been hit a few times. But both of them have regen, so it's also a contest of who's got better regeneration. And this is one of those pauses I was talking about earlier. You can tell because projectiles are just hanging in midair, like they just don't care. I mean, although this is a good time to appreciate the flaming skull. You know? And the fact that these beams seem to go off into infinity. Although, at some angles you can't see them properly, so... That's just that's just something that's just something you can't really help too much. Apparently it's just how the rendering engine works, so I don't think he can fix that. Wow, the Chaos Guardian did get an impact. A couple, actually. But he is making headway very quickly. Witherstorm Tentacle was ionized by a Chaos Guardian. Yeah, that's definitely one of the more dramatic ones I was thinking. And hey, you can see it trailing off to infinity. I got too close. There's like a sweet spot for rendering. And for a while, I was totally not there. But yeah, those beams are always awesome. Of course, the funny thing is, it shows up in his profile just like that. Okay. See, the more hits he gets on the proper parts of him, the more damage he does to his actual health bar. Otherwise, he'll be taking out heads and tentacles, which will then pop back up. Because he'll just regrow them. Until his main health bar is destroyed, he's not going down. Even with the sheer might of the Chaos Guardian, aka Chaos Dragon, this guy is still a rough customer. I mean, it's the Witherstorm. Come on! You don't get much more worst-case scenario than this. Although one could certainly be making an argument for the Chaos Guardian right about now. I mean, he's nearly got the Witherstorm at half health. He's just raining destruction upon him. I mean, seriously, he's getting whooped. Of course, he flies around so fast it's hard to track where my Chaos Guardian is. I just spotted him past that cloud for a moment there. Yeah, this is going smoother than the last time I was attempting this. Because remember, I do test a little bit before to make sure things can hit each other. And there was a lot more pauses last time. So there have been a few, but it's not been so bad, so I might just let them stay in. Also, it's nice to see what things stay animated during a pause, like his jaw is still occasionally open, the beam is still animated with that energy being pulled in, and his tentacles still flail. So, yeah, sometimes it's interesting to note what doesn't get paused during one of those times. And now he's just getting bombarded by the Chaos Guardian again. He's still got a barrage of his own. Those flaming Wither Skulls sure are an interesting attack. Like, oh, it's not just a Wither Skull, it's a flaming Wither Skull. Okay, I got in tight on that action. Watch the strafing run. Well, I record at a kind of semi-HD, and YouTube just changes it to whatever that it needs. So, you know how, well, you may or may not how it goes, because that's a behind-the-scenes thing, but you know. Wow, he just got hit right in the face by one of those, because I also see the Chaos Guardians getting in way more hits. Although you can also see the parts regenerate individually, which is interesting. Although, again, only the main body matters for the health bar. But he will very quickly try using his other parts as shields, and he will maneuver them specifically to interpose themselves. So he's got some pretty good AI on this, and also hence the pause. I'm pretty sure that's just heavy AI pause. It has to recalculate periodically for doing intense stuff. We're doing all sorts of figuring right now. Please wait while everything. So, that, I mean, just hilarious moment. Calculate! It's like, this is, you see, when an AI struggles, sometimes you get that kind of thing to happen. And we're totally getting that here, so it's showing just what point Minecraft programming has really come to. Is whenever it starts reaching the limits of what the system can handle, and it has to just recalculate for a while, going, pardon me, but I'm running at maximum capacity. Can you just hold on? And can we appreciate the fact that tentacles are still able to be happily dancing during this time? Well, to be fair, that one's almost like a tentacle tail. It's just like one extra long tentacle going that way. Waving around like a very happy dog with a very long tail. Okay, now it's getting to the point that it was earlier. And maybe it's specific attacks that the Chaos Guardian's doing. Like, maybe this is what happens when the Witherstorm interfaces with one of his Ender charges. Because he will do that kind of like the regular Ender Dragon on occasion. At least this version will. Because I've seen them launched at him. I know that they're hitting. So maybe the kind of the area of effect field is causing this. I'm not sure. It's got to be something that's doing this specifically, because it's not exactly even, you know? I mean, everybody keep a close eye on this. Is there something specifically thump sound super, super quick and repetitive? And then when it wears off, usually... Now, what is it calculating? Maybe, because it's like these... Oh, it's from the Witherstorm doing it. It's not hitting the Witherstorm, it's hitting the Chaos Guardian. That field effect is having a hard time with the Chaos Dragon. I think I've analyzed this mid-battle. So theoretically, whenever that wears off or he pushes past it, things should resume. If my theory is correct. After all, I try to be a glitchologist. It's how I have my YouTube name. Yeah, he pulled out of it, and then everything resumed. Yeah, that's what's happening. That field hitting him is causing an issue. Okay, but it doesn't let me get caught up with them at least, because they are very fast, especially the Chaos Guardian. I mean, anything that even resembles a Wither Dragon is super quick. Okay, now he's interfacing with something different. Now he's interfacing with the tractor beam. Now, his flight speed is too much for that tractor beam to actually hold him indefinitely. So, even in this pause where it's calculating hard, he's gradually pulling out of it. Might not be able to notice, but I noticed he's gradually pulling out of it. So I'm thinking what's happening is whenever he's interfacing with very particular attacks from the Wither Storm, that it's causing this pause, and as soon as he's out of it, then things can resume. So maybe what I can do with this armor is push him out with the force field effect, if that even works on him, because really high-level Engender mobs have plot armor, whether they're heroes or just extremely high tier. So I don't know if I actually was able to push him out. Well, that death message finally hit, so that's progress. Meanwhile, the Chaos Guardian has nearly defeated the Wither Storm. I mean, if you hadn't noticed, the Wither Storm's HP is at like 10% or less. I'll just let them do that while I try to find the Chaos. While I try to find the Wither Storm's actual HP. Okay, where's the thing that's okay? 1465 out of 12,909. So I was pretty close. He's pretty close to 10% of his health remaining. So I was pretty close to right on that. I mean, we know one way or the other the Chaos Guardian is winning this fight. Okay, I may need to, let me see, do I even have that here? Do I have my trusty gravity gun? Whoop, up, it resumed, where'd he go? There he is. There is the Chaos Guardian, and that means very close, there should be, yep. Okay. He barraged him again, but then he caught him in the tractor beam again, and it paused. Again, angles are weird. Okay. Now, as I was thinking, I don't know if I have something to shove him with. Because I do have my ability to try to push shove otherwise, but that's not the same as a gravity gun. Oh yeah, the tiny option. But wait, whoa. It resumed? Is he back in the tractor beam? Yeah. He got out of it for a moment, then got caught again. So it's interfacing with this. Or with one of his projectiles, field of effect, whenever it has that area of effect, potion effect thing. You know, similar to when the Dragon's Breath is actually on the ground. So, you know, it's the lingering effect. Yeah, that's what I was going for, lingering. Speaking of lingering, he's no longer lingering. In fact, he's ramming him. Whoa! There it goes! The Chaos Guardian has officially won. Wither Storm is defeated. And it's still blasting what remains. He's just taking off the chunks now. Oh, and that Wither Storm tentacle just fell into the depths of the void. And then my arena gets smashed by my own Chaos Guardian. Okay, so it is in fact worse whenever he was interfacing, because now it's not doing that. What I need to do is I need to, let me see, nope, not that horn. Where's the other horn? Dragon horn? Well, I think that works for this one. Aha! Yeah. Wait. Yep, it says it works on all the dragons, so this should work with my Chaos Dragon. Okay, I need to call him close so that I can mob grab him. Because I can't have him flying around wrecking this, because I'll stand here. Almost. Yes! Only took 2 tries. Whew! That was... I have a Chaos Guardian in my Engender mob carrier. Whew! That felt good. Wait, do I have... Oh, the special announcement in 1.12.2, those two fighting will cause a crash. So I will probably need to specifically report that to Enderman of Doom, saying, whenever you have a Chaos Guardian fight a Wither Storm in 1.12.2, darn lips, on 1.12.2, it might just randomly crash and cause a null pointer exception. So that happens. But either way, we have our result. So in case you're wondering if you can get all the components together to get your chaos, to get a Chaos Guardian, and are wondering if an enemy this is one of your solutions, folks. Have a Chaos Guardian available, and then you can take down a Witherstorm. You just have to have one of these guys on your side. So, yeah. So it's really handy. I got this because this will make it a lot easier to transport after the whole initial deployment thing. So just keep that in mind. With some interesting lag-tastic discussion. I'll be logging off. Hope to hear from you all later. And bye for now, everybody.